Anyways, that's it for the daily. Let's move on to some expert challenges. Next up is Pure Chance. Volatile Gorge. Path we take is chosen automatically, and our champion is randomly replaced with one that is not from our primary or ally clan. And let's go with random, just in the style of this challenge. Glimmer Echo Trance for Edge Prior. So we are Awoken Wurmkin, but our champion is Rector Flicker. Bye bye, sleep well. We have the fractures and the restores. Harvest could be a thing. Reform would also be interesting. Encase Divinity. That makes Echo Transfer much easier to use. Lost Luggage, Traitor's Quill and Rationing Scales. Let's take Lost Luggage. Makes the most sense to me. We have the option here between Harvest and Reform. I think we go with Harvest though. It overall makes more sense. Mark of Invasion, sure we take it. We will take some damage to it almost certainly. Right, we have Volatile Gorge, I almost forgot about that. So our chances of finding a Glimmer in the opening hand were actually pretty decent. And we are actually able to avoid taking any damage to this first wave, which I appreciate. We take 2 here. Not a huge deal. Flicker is already pretty decently sized. Is playing double Glimmer here really that good? I'd rather reduce the damage this Forged Disciple is doing. Definitely reap you and you. That's all we can do with this much Ember. The reap on that guy doesn't matter, so let's reap the boss. And that's all we need. Infused Edge Prior, Vine Grasp and Glimmer. Again. This... You know what? I'll take the Edge Prior. Maybe I use the essence. The Edge Prior's essence this run. These cards suck. Bounding Echoes is kind of okay, but we don't really need it that much. Okay. We're at the Merchant of Steel. Quick. Gimme Glareminder. Kinho's Carapace. And Keeper of Echoes. Keeper of Echoes seems kind of weak. What could we happen upon? Oh, we could find a dupe. I am not excited about this. I think we take Keeper of Echoes anyways. Winged Steel and Hell's Banners. Hell's Banners will only help us in the early stages, most likely. Check strips would also make some sense. But I'll take the Winged Steel here. Having spikes would actually be quite useful. I think this unit is only temporary. So we're just gonna give it small upgrades. But it all depends on what we stumble upon. A unit draft is good. The armor? Super annoying. Yes, I think we do set up the top floor. Oh, come on! Do you have to... Like, what is this hand? Ugh. Please, Gorge. Don't hate me. We could kill the backliner, but we could also deal damage to the frontliner instead. This is not going so well. But I knew that was gonna be a rough fight. Which is why I even picked up the Glare Minder and upgraded it. There's so many Sinner Spells in the deck. But we are fine now. That is actually a good way to gain more spikes. Do I want an Echo Infusion with random cost? No. Sound Hollow. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm all into that. That is what we want here. What is our dupe? That's a good question. Okay, we can get a rare draft pick here. It's gotta be Stygian, right? Or maybe Hellhound. Let's take a look. Rares from Hellhound. I wouldn't mind Dark Deal, that would actually be quite good. Alloy of the Ancients would be fine. Transcendent would be kind of funny, but probably not that great. Don't think we can really fit one Horn's Tome into this. Or Consumer of Crowns. Remnant. Not really. Stygian Guard has gifts for a guard and Ancient's Energy. It's gotta be gifts. Do we dupe the gifts? It's the only card worth duping in our deck, right? And it is worth duping. Okay. Our deck changed fundamentally. We are now a 4-clan deck. Champion, Melting. Then we have Awoken and Wurmkin, where most of our cards come from. And then we have the 2 random gifts for a guard. I like it. Yeah, that no longer fits on the floor. Right. Those gifts for a guard are really nice. You don't die right now, but we can fix that. Ah, we drew the other gifts for a guard, huh? That was the wrong spell. I wanted to play Restore. Whoops. Let's see if this is fine. Might not be. But it also might be fine. It's not that much damage we're taking to that. They go into hand in a different order than they are shown, which is quite annoying. And we should easily have the kill on the boss here. Not quite with our spiky boy, but Rector has it. Not easily, actually. It was actually quite close. Cycle of Life, that makes a lot of sense. We can't. Actually want to get capacity. Maybe I don't have to, but I kind of want an Edge Prior on that floor. What would be a good essence for our Thorned Hollow? None of these, really. We can't increase their size anymore. Get capacity. I'm a bit worried about our Ember, but the gifts for a guard might make it okay. Double stack. Ugh. Glare Minder. Host Vessel, probably not. Kinda want an Edge Prior on that top floor. with another Edge Prior in it. Apply Reap. No, I don't think so. We could also put an Edge Prior into the Thorned Hollow instead. Restore 5 health to friendly units. That would trigger Rejuvenate every turn. I guess we do that. It might not be the most exciting upgrade there. Do I want Gifts for a guard to be 0 cost? I think so. Don't want the Purge Stone, honestly. That might be a bit too much. We remove a Fracture and probably a Train Steel. We want to remove these about at the same speed. And we definitely go for Harvest too. I think I double stack a Restore. Might be a weird choice, but I care about the regen and we don't really have another source of it right now. Cycle of Life, I guess, is a pretty impactful card. Glimmers need some damage. And now they're also very impactful. Permafrost, that might not be as necessary. Move on. I think we're okay. We are pretty... I think we can take the multi-strike challenge. Helps us deal damage with the spikes. If nothing else. That Glimmer is actually quite potent. I'm gonna save it for later. This is looking fine. Again, I feel like I should save the Glimmer. Just in case you would survive. You die to Reap instead. That's pretty reasonable. I want an extra hit. We might want an extra hit. The enemies will be weakened to the spikes, so... Let's put another Cycle of Life on you. As long as we don't really need to play the Glimmers, I will keep them around. Nice regen stacking going on. I really want an Awake. That will break this run wide open. You're gonna deal massive damage on the top floor, huh? This is the time for the Glimmer. And the other Glimmer is for you. You have Regen 24 though. So you're gonna heal back quite a bit of that damage. But I think that might just be okay. Yeah. Whoops. We are out of deck. For longer fights, we need to be a bit more... Wow. That was the best relic we could have gotten for this run. Engraft is great. Focus Growth isn't bad. Actually, Focus Growth is strictly better than Engraft. Well, not strictly. Engraft gives us back an Ember. Adaptive Mutation... That is really powerful on Rector Flicker. With that champion, I think we have to. Power of Knowledge is a huge nuke by the end. Ah, I wanted the other side. I guess I'm pretty happy with this side as well, so shouldn't complain. Consume removal on the Adaptive Mutation. Maybe? Not necessary. Yeah, let's get this. Let's cost reuse the other gifts for a guard and then reroll. Double stack. Another restore. This is currently our source of sustain. Regen is not as potent as it used to be, but still pretty helpful. The restores will be cost reduced by the unit, the Edge Prior. So they are not as big of a priority to cost reduce. Because the first cost reduction is always gonna matter with the Volatile Gauge, no matter what you roll with it. The second cost reduction might not matter if you roll the 1. The third cost reduction will only matter if you roll a 3. So the first few cost reductions are actually more impactful. Or rather, the first is more impactful than the second, and so on. I don't think we need intrinsic. Spell Chain. That goes on Cycle of Life, right? That is actually really good. Do we put the Keeper of Echoes into the Edge Prior? I kinda don't want to. I think we just remove the Keeper of Echoes. I think the Edge Prior doesn't matter enough. Wasn't there another card I wanted to remove? Doesn't look like it. And Caverns? What do they offer me? Rail Spikes. Awoken Rail Spikes. Well, my consume removal is already gone. What a shame. Let's move on. Spikes from the enemies. We are up against Self-Made Harpy. That's good for us. Self-Made Harpy just falls over and dies. Falls over and dies against spikes. Let's see what gifts for a god gives us first. Wanna get the healing starter for sure. Other than that, we don't want to wipe these on the bottom floor. We want them to trigger harvest. That is slightly dangerous. Because we're taking quite a bit of damage on our spiky boy. So let's stack some regen to minimize that. Luckily we have pretty large healing potential, so I think it might be worth not playing the gifts for a guard here. Because we have pretty good auto plays and the gifts roll the maximum cost, so makes it a bit worse. It's time to transform you into an attacker. We don't want you to attack because the enemies have spikes. Oh, you survived that? Huh. Well, that's no fun. How dare you survive that? Guess we keep it around. Maybe we throw it on the boss. Oh, nice. More cycle of life. I like it. Yeah, I'm not worried about this. This boss will take 7 times the spike damage with all that multi-strike. So they will just kill themselves on the Thorned Hollow in no time. Hey Maxwell! Welcome! Happy to see you. Hope you're having a good day. I will take the Dun Echo, why not? Focused growth again. I think this time we take it. We could also take Bramble Ash. Yeah, Bramble Ash probably better. Returned Soul. I think with the gift for a god, less necessary. Broken Memories could be good though. I will take it even with the random cost. Oh. We finally get some unit upgrades, huh? Well, Large Stone is not really one we can take. It's put a heart stone on the edge. Not on the edge prior, on the Thorn Hollow. Do I want attack on the edge prior? I kinda want extra health. The upgrades on the edge prior don't really matter anyways. $30 health? That seems like a nice amount. We're gonna buff the Thorn Hollow's health up anyways. So I think we can just do this. An Extreme Stone? We could do this. It's not really that great. Probably not worth the Extreme Stone. Yeah, I don't feel like taking any pack shards right now. We will have to take one of these Divine Temple offerings or dupe a sharded card, but that's not really a problem. I'm not sure if I should be removing spells, but these don't really provide much benefit. That thing is slightly annoying. Actually, it's very annoying. Does that mean we are on the bottom floor? Well, no, because Clip Guardian. Bramblelash, Glimmer. No, I think we just take it slow. It's not like we have tons of energy to play around with anyways. We play Gifts for a guard and maybe don't even play the cards right now. I will play this card. Just to consume it. Edge Prior is ready. Are we ready to deal with this Clip Guardian? We might be, but it's rather unlikely. So let's get some harvests going first. Well, that would have helped. I kinda wanna play Cycle of Life, but I feel like Awoken Rail Spike might be better here. It's just 2 cards though. No, let's play the Cycle. Get another Cycle into the deck and sacrifice you on this floor. That is the Shattering Dark Shard. We don't really care about that one. Things are looking okay. How are we killing this guy? 26, 46, 56, 76, 85. How are we killing this guy? I think we just kill him with Bramblelash, but oh, you gain harvest triggers from these guys. So we have another 4. That still shouldn't be enough. We have double spikes damage, I forgot about that. So 70, 80... 100. So yeah, we can just play our stuff. And then if we see that they would survive, we can always just throw in the Bramblelash. But if we don't need it, that's even better. These copies of Cycle of Life are mostly there as a target to find with gifts for a guard. Is there anything we want back? Power of Knowledge isn't bad. Sure. Arcus has Spell Shield too, so we can never... Well, we can remove these with the Glimmers, I guess. If we still have Glimmers in the deck. We still have one. Now it won't really work out. Oh, fine. It's not like we really needed the Bramble Lash to hit Arcus or anything like that. We should be fine without it. In fact, I think we throw it away now. Because we don't really want it cycling through our deck. It's not gonna achieve a whole lot. Guess we start with gifts. I'm gonna get this one out of my hand first. The cost increases don't matter much. They will not be respected once we redraw the card. The only thing they will do is cancel our cost reductions. So this Cycle of Life got increased in cost, so we can now roll a 3. Because it cancels out the Emberstone we have already in there. But none of the cards can ever roll higher than a 3. Nice. Oh, all these stat buffs. Look at that. So many stats. And that's the last chance to do anything with this card. So... this is a nice deck. This Petrify Crucible is really good. Sure, I'll take Spraying Spores. We want one more energy. Just one. Spell Chain again. Spell Chain is generally pretty strong in this deck. That might just go on the Spreading Spores. And then if we're really lucky, we get to double stack it as well. Yep, nothing we can do here. Let's go with the final harvest. Do we remove the final Train Steward now? Yes, I think we do. Keep the rest of the money. We now have over 100 shards as well, so that is not gonna be a problem. Set up the top floor, start giving you some spikes. And some more spikes. How do we get the collector? We fetch a glimmer. I guess that works. It's not great, but it works. Sure, that is still probably preferred. Weakening these guys a bit as well. Yeah, that Gilded Wing in the back. Slight problems. Although that should help a bit. Not much actually, because these guys in the front were all gonna die to spikes anyways. Luckily we don't have Ascend heal to full. So we're only gonna take a little bit of damage to the Gilded Wing. If we didn't go for the collector here, would have been much less of a problem. Power of Knowledge. 130 damage on Rector Flicker should help a lot. Yeah, we throw that on that guy. Yeah. Let's get the spikes up. Now that our spikes count double, it is quite a damage boost. Kinda wanna play a Spreading Spores here. More restores. And yeah, let's play a Cycle of Life and a Sharpen as well. Have we... We haven't used up the Cycle of Life yet. Nice. And we will always have Spreading Spores to fetch with the gifts. So maybe I bring back the other gifts actually. I could bring back the Rail Spike, but I think gifts is just more effective at this point. Was this boss's entry sound remind anyone else of the cultists in Slay the Spire? Cacao! Oh yes. Now, the Spreading Spores gifts for a guard engine. So good. Play all the cheap ones and then fetch a bunch of new ones. Interestingly enough, we generate a lot of these with Purge because of the spell chain. But yeah, let's see how high we can go here. Just wanna see what this deck is capable of in terms of stacking regen. Pretty solid numbers. Especially with this backliner being strong enough to just fight with bosses on his own. The third time is the charm. Now we take a focus growth. Forgotten trade. Yeah, sure. That will always be worth more energy than we pay for it. Oh, we get a dupe and we get a Merchant of Magic. Double stack. Double stack the Spreading Spores. Double stack Spell Chain. Gifts Engine. Give me all the power. All the power. Prior's Cloak. Wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be bad either. Prior's Cloak is rarely great, although I have seen one deck where it really made a big difference. I guess it became a lot better with the TLD update. Now we can hold over the gifts for a guard. Now we can really go mad. We don't need to conserve the amount of spells in our deck anymore because we generate new ones all the time. And in fact, I think we dupe a gift for a guard. There is another value stone. I don't think it's really worth picking up any more upgrades here. We have the number of shards we need and we really don't want to go too high. Because there are a few problems otherwise. This is again a pretty simple top floor setup turn. We do have the rail spike in our opening hand. There wasn't an intrinsic, right? Draw 6. We waste one of those draws, that's fine. Let's get this out of our hand so we can gifts for a guard. And hit at least 2 cards with it. Let's refuel. Refill our mana. And draw 2 next turn, sure. Melee weakness is a bit scary. I have to admit that. Don't want to play too much stuff here on the top floor. But there are a few things that have to go out. Like Spreading Spores. Oh god, we are gonna play so many spells. We need to be careful to not get this one shot by Seraph. But we will always have weaker units hitting him first because we don't take out these units. They die to spikes. So basically what we need to survive is a hit for 15. And not the Seraph hit, so it doesn't matter what the Seraph's attack is. Or does not matter as much at least. And we are going off. Kinda. Look at this. Yeah, we take a lot of damage, but we also immediately heal that damage again, so... There's not much to switch there. We can't glimmer. We need to get hit. Otherwise we stack up melee weakness, and that is the only way we could die here. We can glimmer on this floor. Just to get rid of it, because it is kind of a liability right now. You know, there is one time where we can potentially glimmer. And that is when we kill Seraph with a Bramble Lash right after it. Well, we're quite far away from that. Maybe not that far away. Yeah, I feel like we built a pretty powerful deck here. At least somewhat powerful. Still not a rail spike, why not? Good thing we didn't draw it right there. Spikes might be one of the builds that might be better in the Last Divinity. Because wave clear matters a lot more. Defense matters a lot more. Spreading spores can provide a lot of both of these. I mean, we have one. We easily win this. I just want to see how far we can go if we keep pushing it. I'm still gonna keep that Bramble Lash around. We probably won't be able to throw it at Seraph, but I can hope, right? But spell chain on spreading spores is just awesome. Together with gifts, yeah. I mean, we couldn't run this sort of spreading spores setup with the spell chain and double stack without some kind of M-board cheating mechanic. Well, we do have one, so we might as well make use of it, right? This is gonna be my first Awoken main clan Covenant 25 the Divine Victory, and it's not with an Awoken champion, which is the sad part. Just make sure that Seraph doesn't one-shot the Hollow. We have 385 regen, so if we survive the hit, we will be fine. 92, 102, 117. So we can play 18 more spells. We don't get to play 18 more spells. We need to stop at 110, 109 display damage here. That is a great time for the Bramble Ash to show up. 5120 damage. Nice. And I think the Divinity should be pretty manageable as well. If we can set up on the bottom floor, we should do so. We have gifts for a guard, we have Glimmer. If we want to speedrun this, we set up on the middle floor though. Leave the Edge Prior out, but gain double the spike damage on Divinity. And honestly, with the gifts engine, we don't need the Edge Prior anymore. We do need to cast this Spreading Spores. We have to save the Rail Spike for later. Ah, we drew the second gifts. That is a bit unfortunate. Okay, we drew back into a into a Spreading Spores. That is very nice. Doesn't matter which gift we pick. It will be gone after one use. This is the big turn. If we survive this, I think we will be good. Survival is not guaranteed here. The regen only activates after we survive the turn. There we go. It's time to swap you. A bit short on damage still. But we survived. Although we are not that healthy. So we need a bit more regen still. Can we take this damage? Yeah, easily. That's 3 plus 4 times 7, 31 damage in total. Apparently we have another way where survival is crucial. Or rather, where survival is uncertain. Survival is always crucial. Just this time it was also uncertain on top of that. But now I don't think we can die anymore. At least our units can't die. Our pyre can still die. Because we don't have... I mean, don't get me wrong, we have a lot of damage. We have 240 spikes. This guy, though, has 665 health. That might be a slight issue. And the frontliner doesn't attack, so they don't die to spikes. I wish we could Bramble-Ash the backliner. I guess we can take 3 hits from you. That's 51 damage. That should be the last damage we take in this fight. Should have given the frontliner damage. That's actually pretty decent, but it wouldn't change anything. It only meant we could save the Bramble-Ash. I am much more confident in dealing with the next wave up. We're down to 20 HP. That sucks, but we don't need more than that. We don't even need that much. Just a plus 100 on Rector Flicker. Also, Divinity dies next turn to the spikes. This guy doesn't die? I mean, if Divinity dies, that doesn't matter, but that is a little bit unsatisfying. We can't quite get there. But it doesn't matter, as I said. Divinity dies. 99 damage taken. It's fine. No big deal. I'm glad we were pretty healthy when we went into this fight. Otherwise we would have had to set up on the top floor. Which honestly might have been the better choice anyways. Not necessarily because... like, Divinity hitting both targets isn't a big deal, but Divinity not hitting the frontliner twice would slow us down. Would slow our kill down quite a bit. Yeah, we unlocked the new car frame by winning with all clans. Cycle of Life, Edge Prior, Thorned Hollow, and one more mastered. What would the one more be? Nice. The one more would be probably focus growth. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I will be in the Monster Train tournament hosted by Nate Kaidan, that's correct. Yeah, I would like that as well. So you could see all the cards you mastered.